Park.
Four things I know are true. The best fit for Randy Johnson, anywhere but Arizona. The best fit for Carlos Boozer, a new agent. The second worst fit in the history of elections, Senator Mike Ditka. And I'm Tony Reale. Though the worst fit of all time, Woody Page, mayor of New York.
It's Around the Horn, the show of competitive banter. Here's Tony Reale.
Welcome back to the show where performance-enhancing drugs are underused. Today, we're talking the bad blood between Piazza and Clemens, the feud between Boozer and the Cavs, and the possible end of America's love affair with Monday Night Football. All with our national crew. Let's check them out. At the Los Angeles Times, J.A. Adonde.
I was out of town the last few days. Anything happen in LA
Nothing in Los
gone?
Angeles, that's for sure. Good. At the Denver Post, it's Woody Page. Well said. At the Chicago Sun-Times, Jay Mariotti.
Limp it to limp, Woody, all the same thing.
Nah, how would you know? Not really classy. And at the Boston Globe, it's Michael Smith.
As I was saying, Tony, Miguel Tejada is going to win the home run derby for the following reasons. Right hand.
10 topics, 4 voices, just one winner. Let's make it happen.
It's the first word.
The first words are big unit sweepstakes. In an all-star media session on Monday, Randy Johnson said that he's open to the idea of waiving his no-trade clause, as long as the deal would benefit the Arizona Diamondbacks. Johnson denied reports that he would need a contract extension in order for him to approve of a trade, but did say he was only going to a legitimate contender. The Yankees, Red Sox, and Angels have all been rumored to have an interest. So, guys, which playoff contender needs Randy Johnson most? Around the horns of Boston, Michael Smith.
What do you expect me to say here in Boston? The Red Sox absolutely positively need Randy Johnson the most, and here's why. I know they're second in the AL and ERA, but after Pedro and Curt Schilling, the rest of the staff is a question mark. Can you really depend on Bronson Arroyo to be that number 3? Or even Tim Wakefield for that matter?
What about Derek Lowe?
Derek Lowe struggling big time. I mean, I know he had a strong last start, excuse me, but he's struggling big time. And especially considering all the pending free agents. Veritek's a free agent. Pedro's a free agent. This could be their last year to make a serious run at the World Series.
Michael, you are such a homer. And Mariotti, wait your turn. You'll get your point. I hate homers. I'm telling you, my Yankees are the ones who need Randy Johnson.
Ooh.
If they sign Johnson, they put everybody away. They'll be so far outclassing the American League that you can go ahead and give them not only the American League championship, but the World Series. The Yankees can put him there, place him as the ace. He'll be in great shape to lead them to the championship.
Yes. Woody, yeah, they'll be out of the stratosphere with their payroll, too. And don't forget that Kevin Brown's going to come back. Eventually, they just got El Duque back. The team that needs him is the Angels out here in California at the newly renamed Angels Stadium. Look, they've got the bats up and down the lineup, led by MVP candidate Vladimir Guerrero right in the middle. They have a great bullpen. They just don't have that dominant starting pitcher. They brought in Bartolo Colon. He was supposed to be the man. He's been a bust, a semi-Colon, as I call him. You bring in Randy Johnson, then you're right in the mix. Now you've got that ace of your staff. You can guarantee a win practically, especially with their lineup. Every time he takes them out, the Angels need him, they'll win the West.
Come on, it's Boston. You know why? They already have this big deficit as it is. You put Randy Johnson with Vasquez and Messina and Brown and Contreras, and it's an embarrassment of riches. The Red Sox could not overcome that. The Red Sox need to do this psychologically because, as Michael said, Derek Lowe, his Cy Young Award winner, by the way, Arroyo and Wakefield. You need to get him in there. Problem is, he doesn't get along with Curt Schilling. It's never going to happen in Boston.
Guys, does the balance of power in Major League Baseball, they'll ride on the left arm of Randy Johnson. Whoever gets him will win. Woody Page.
Well, the point is, if you get him with the Yankees, seriously and realistically, with Kevin Brown healthy again, that 1-2 will remind you of what Schilling and Johnson did in Arizona a couple of years ago.
All right, Michael Smith, you said the Red Sox need to get Randy Johnson. If they get Randy Johnson, are they winning the American League?
You know what? I still think they don't win the division. I think this 7-game deficit is too much for them to make up. But they do win the American League for the point that Woody just made. You put Schilling and Johnson together. They took out the Yankees the last time. Put them two together again, they'll do it again.
Key point, it's a psychological boom for the Red Sox if they keep them away from the Yankees, but it's not going to happen.
The team that needs them least is the Yankees because they've got Contreras and Orlando Hernandez and John Lieber.
That's not true.
And they have plenty of guys. The team that needs them the most is the Texas Rangers. They're in first place, and their ERA is the highest among all first-place teams. And their number 2 starter is Ryan Drees. Bring Randy Johnson in. Woody Page, this is my time. Let's move on to the Midsummer's Classic. We all know tonight's All-Star game determines home field advantage in the World Series, and we all know that a bunch of 500 home run guys will be participating. We all certainly know about the past history between the National League battery of Roger Clemens and Mike Piazza. But how about this? Tickets reportedly going for $2,800 a pop, and that doesn't even count $100 for parking. So guys, what are these people paying to see? What is the most compelling storyline of tonight's All-Star game? Around the horn to J.A. Adande.
They're wasting their money, if you ask me. But if you want to go out there, especially if you live in Texas, you got to go see your homeboy, Roger Clemens, taking the mound, the oldest starter to start an All-Star game. Forget the Clemens Piazza stuff. Roger Clemens, in and of himself, think about it. Last October, we thought the guy was retiring. Now here is at 41-year-olds starting the All-Star game.
Amazing.
That's pretty impressive.
Now, you're wrong here again because he'll be out in about 2 innings. Who the heck cares after 2 innings? Adande, this game is now competitive. This is the best of the All-Star games because what baseball has done here. And I've got some data today, Reality.
Well, give it to me.
15 of the last 18 teams with home field advantage have won the World Series.
Okay, that's 15 of the last 18. What of the last 1 teams that got home field advantage? If it happened last year, somebody else take it, please.
He is such J1 note over and over again. Oh, the home field advantage. You know what this game is all about?
What is it?
It's a game. It's an all-star game. It's for the fans. It's something we don't have to talk about steroids. We don't have to talk about rivalries. We don't have to talk about who's going to win the World Series. We don't have to talk about a home field advantage. We just sit back and enjoy watching the best players in the game. That's what the drama is all about.
Woody, settle down. You're way off base as usual. Mariotti and J.A. Adande, they were onto something. This is about the Roger Clemens, but it's also about the staff that follows. It's about this collection of National League pitchers and the most Cy Youngs in All-Star game history. After Clemens sits down after 1 or 2 innings, then you got Randy Johnson, then you got Tom Glavine, Eric Gagne at the back. This is an awesome collection.
Mariotti, quickly.
I mean, Woody, if a game has a competitive edge to it, it's much more enjoyable. It's not an exhibition, so I enjoy the fact that this game means something. Counter that.
Here's a point. You didn't see Bonds wearing all that body armor in the home run derby. They say they're going to pitch to him. He's not going to wear all of that. It's just a game that people...
And they still pitch around.
All right, guys, I know nothing's going to happen. I would love to see, though, Mike Piazza call for a changeup and Roger Clemens giving a fastball up by his chin. Not going to happen, I know. Guys, stick around because Buy or Sell's next. And coming up, Carlos Boozer jilted the Cavaliers for the love of money. So why is Cleveland trying to take him back? Is there room for the legendary Joe Gibbs and the legendary Mike Ditka in one little capital town?
Around the Horn, brought to you by Subway. Good so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh.
Buy or sell?
Buy or sell time. Let's see what we have. Leading off, the Cleveland Cavaliers have made their offer to Carlos Boozer, and it's an offer they should have refused. The Cavs have thrown 1 year, $5 million at a Boozer, amid reports that Rob Pelinka, Boozer's agent, has picked up and walked out on his client. Boozer's expected to slither his autograph on a $68 million offer sheet from the Jazz later this week. On Monday, Boozer told the plain dealer that he never made an agreement to stay in Cleveland and that the shots that people were taking on his character are wrong. Buy or sell Carlos Boozer making things right and taking the Cavs offer. Adande.
I'm selling. You can't trust this guy now. Now you're going to wait and try it again when he's an unrestricted free agent next year? It's like George Bush said at Fahrenheit 9/11. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again.
What do you think?
I'm selling it. How do you know we can't trust him, J.A.? Whose word are you trusting here? He says that he didn't sign anything, that he didn't agree to anything. It's not an official deal until the NBA office approves it. He had the right to do what was best for him and his family. You would too.
All right, Mariotti.
Look, I'm going to buy this. The agent has gone out. Carlos, you don't want to play in Utah. you'll never be heard from again. Go back to Cleveland, make it right, sign for 1 year. Next year, you'll make more money on your next contract. You get to play with LeBron James. You'll be part of the big TV picture in the NBA.
Michael Smith.
Hey, Tony, you know what? I know last week I said that he should stay there for LeBron, but you know what? I got to sell this. After doing my research, if you read the Cleveland Plain Dealer exclusive interview, they assassinated this guy's character. They made up all this stuff. The Cleveland Cavaliers, he said he had no agreement with him or any kind of handshake or any verbal agreement or whatever.
Sounds like a flip-flop to me because you're going the other way. If I'm the Cavs, this is what I do. I offer him $1 for this next season. You're either with us or against us. Get on out of here. Let's move on to the pool. Swimming phenom Michael Phelps had his first setback of the U.S. Olympic trials on Monday when he took second in the finals of the 200-meter backstroke. Phelps did recover to win the 200 IM, making him the first American male to qualify for 5 individual swimming events at an Olympics. Phelps is gunning for Mark Spitz's record of 7 golds at the 72 games. Guys, buy or sell Phelps as the breakout American star at this year's Olympics. What do you think?
No. Anybody that believes that has not done their research as I have.
Right.
Courtney Cuppets, who is a 17-year-old gymnast, in 2003, she tore an Achilles tendon. They didn't think she could compete again. Not only is she going to compete, she's going to win 4 or 5 gold medals.
Wow.
She is going to lead USA to the World Championship, to the Olympic Championship, and she's going to be beloved by America.
Right, we got you there because he's a gymnast, and that's a good thing. 2 more points for you, Woody Page. What do you say, Mariotti?
I'm going to buy this unless Woody becomes an international incident, which is always possible. I'm going to buy Phelps here. Look, Mark Spitz, this record is stood for a long time here. The mechanism is in place. Look at all the commercials involving Phelps right now. The book deals, the movie deals afterwards. Phelps can't help but being the star of Athens.
All right, Michael Smith.
Hey, and another thing on Carlos Boozer, $68 million guaranteed now. He might get hurt. As for this question, I'm buying this, and here's why. Outside of the sprinters, he's the only guy that most common Americans even know about. He's going to win all these gold medals, break Spitz's record.
Mary Lou Retton.
Donde.
I'm selling this. He's destined for failure. He's set up to be a failure. If he wins anything less than 7, he's a guy who could win 5 gold medals and be considered a bust. The breakout star of the Olympics, as usual, is going to be whoever Nike tells us it's going to be.
Now it's going to be a gymnast, as it always has been in years past, and Woody Page gets another point for that. Let's move on. Super Bowl winning coach Levitra Pitchman and recently hired ESPN NFL analyst Mike Ditka says he's seriously considering running for Senate in Illinois. Illinois' mouthpiece of political pontificating pleads, sorry, but the great state of Illinois cannot be represented in Washington by Senator Limp Ditka. America's going to think we're real weird in the heartland if Not So Iron Mike emerges. Ditka on Capitol Hill would make Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger look like noble statesmen. Guys, buy or sell Senator Ditka, Jay Marriott.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm selling ESPN's crack research staff, and the show shows that this man is not registered to vote in the state of Illinois. That is a breaking story here, among many other reasons. One, this guy's temper. I mean, get your mouth shut, throwing gum at people. Look, we're a calm, sane state. We don't like
Get that weak stuff out of here. What do you say, Michael Smith?
Hey, I'm selling this as well. You know, you mentioned Arnold Schwarzenegger. People in California will tell you that Arnold Schwarzenegger is doing a great job as governor of California. As for,
are you from California? You tell me if Arnold Schwarzenegger is doing a great job.
I just said people in California will tell you that. As far as Ditka, here's the thing you got to realize. He's running as a Republican. Democrats run Chicago or run Illinois. He's not going to be able to do it.
Okay, Adonde.
Well, we're still waiting for him to pass a budget out here. We're still broke. However, I'm gonna buy this Senator Ditka in Chicago. I mean, they love him there in Chicago. Think about it. When he got fired, he said, "This too shall pass." All of a sudden, people were putting that on bumper stickers, driving all over the place. Mariotti, you know fully well Mike Ditka would get it done in Chicago. Or I'll come down there and whip your...
All right, we got you. Go ahead, Paige.
I'm also going to buy this. Why not? He's been a successful coach. He's been a successful commentator. Why not? If other people can do it, here's what I do know that's true. Mariotti couldn't be elected pooper scooper in South Chicago. That's what's important.
What is South Chicago?
Oh, what are you talking about? I don't know what's going to happen with this. I do know his platform. I want to do whatever the people want. Sounds pretty good to me. Mike Ditka for Senate. Let's see what we have here. The low man, single digits again, Michael Smith. What's going on?
As usual, you're not impressed by intelligent sports commentary.
Oh, you were late.
Talking about the state of California from Massachusetts. And then there were 3. The rest of you remain seated because coming up, as Major League Baseball produced players who can match Big Mac's ability to astound. All right, around the horn, we're after 2 rounds. Here's how they stand. Look at those scores. Get them up, guys. Adande with 12. Woody Page with 12. Jay Mariotti with just 11.
Get it up.
And Michael Smith reneged on a verbal agreement to continue with today's show.
It's out of bounds.
Leading off, the dreaded S word back in the news. Steroids, the topic of conversation on Monday for a couple of legendary home run hitters. All-time home run leader Hank Aaron said that he believes steroids do not have an effect on how a player swings a bat. And in a conversation with Carl Ravitch, one-time single-season home run leader Mark McGwire had this to say of steroids.
That stuff doesn't help you hit home runs.
It has nothing to do with you hitting home runs. Hand-eye coordination and God-given talent.
Guys, what's your reaction to these comments around the horn to Jay Mariotti?
I'm very offended here. Of course, steroids help. It builds muscle mass. It helps your workouts. It keeps you healthy. I mean, McGwire here, just shut up, Mark. If I am Henry Aaron and I was clean, I would be very offended at the cloud over baseball right now. What if his record, Tony, is broken by somebody who is dirty? I don't agree that the sluggers of the past should be so laissez-faire about everything that's going on right now.
Woody Page?
First of all, here, if I were Henry Aaron and I were clean, Henry Aaron was clean, jabroni. There's no question about that. McGwire has talked about the fact, and the reason why he's bringing up what he is, because he took andro. It's difficult for him to criticize anybody else after what he went through, and obviously it's left his voice very high.
Okay, all right. Jay Adande.
What's your excuse, Woody? Well, obviously, one area that hasn't impacted is the fans' appreciation of the sport. They're still going crazy. The attendance is up all over Major League Baseball, knowing full well people are taking steroids. And yes, steroids do make a difference. Otherwise, why would people take them? You have to assume that a lot of these numbers, or to some degree, these home run numbers we're seeing are a result of steroids.
Back to you, Woody Page.
I got nothing else.
You got nothing else. Disingenuous responses, stubborn responses, and empty apologies. That's what I take. And I would be depressed if I was Hank Aaron and had to answer questions like this all the time. Let's move on, guys. The Sports Business Journal reports that an NFL TV deal that seems to be gaining momentum calls for ESPN to take over Monday Night Football, while Sunday nights would go to ABC. Negotiations are not expected to begin until the fall for a new NFL TV deal, and the current contract runs through 2005. But the Journal also reports that ABC could make a play for Sunday afternoon, opening up Sunday primetime for CBS or Fox or NBC. So, guys, what do you make of Monday Night Football becoming Sunday Night Football? Adande, what do you think?
Now you're getting into the fabric of America. There's certain things you can't mess with. Sunday night, 60 Minutes on CBS, Monday Night Football on ABC, Thursday night, Cosby, Cheers, Friends, Seinfeld, whatever it is on Thursday night. You cannot do this. You take away Monday night off ABC, it just changes the whole week. I wouldn't even know what to do. I probably wouldn't even show up to work on Monday.
Page?
Friends went off the air, Seinfeld went off the air. ABC can give up Monday Night Football and give it to the network where it belongs, ESPN. Then it would be not only a great show, but if you add one more guy in the booth.
Oh, no, not you.
On.
We're not talking about you, the Don Meredith of today, right?
Stop auditioning.
No, you don't mess around with what isn't broken. 1970, Monday Night Football began. You have habits created for generations, and now ESPN is creating a new set on Sunday night. I don't understand why you would mess with this. We love, right now, Monday Night Football in Sunday.
That horn's right there. Woody Page, you got to put your resume away when you start talking about Monday Night Football. Wave goodbye to the crowd. That's it. You're done. See you later. Goodbye. All right, showdown time. It's going to be J.A. Adande and Jay Mariotti. You know it. 2 men enter, and only 1 man will leave. But first, coming up, how much cash will the Pistons shell out to keep Rasheed Wallace around? All right, showdown time. Adande versus Mariotti. Let's get it going. Leading off, the Denver Nuggets want Kenyon Martin, and now it just seems like it's a matter of how they're going to get him. Finagle will sign and trade for the All-Star forward, or just outright pay the man and offer him a max contract. Speaking of paying the man, Rasheed Wallace just got his from the Pistons, agreeing to re-sign with the champs for $10 million a year. Who would you rather have, Kmart or Sheed? 15 seconds, Adande, go.
Jay, I'm glad you put down that cup of coffee because it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. The guy you want is Rasheed Wallace. He's a guy who can get his own shot. He doesn't need Jason Kidd to set him up. You get Rasheed Wallace the ball in the low block, turn around. That's one of the automatic shots in the game. He's got three-point range as well. You saw him rise to the occasion in Game 4 of the finals.
Lakers have discombobulated. The Nuggets have a great opportunity out west here. They got Carmelo. They got the point guard Miller. They get the big man in Camby. Now you need a defensive presence who can rebound the basketball. The difference maker, take him to the next level indeed, is Kenyon
We'd love
Martin.
to see what Kenyon Martin can do without Jason Kidd, and Rasheed Wallace won a championship this year. Let's move on to a headline you thought you'd never hear. The Arizona Cardinals are working too hard. The NFL has reprimanded the team and new coach Dennis Green after complaints from players saying their offseason workouts were too intense. You'll recall the New York Giants were guilty of a similar offense earlier this offseason. Guys, which 4-12 team from last year will be more improved this year, Cardinals or Giants? Mariotti.
Well, it's not the Cardinals. I like Denny Green here, but their defense, last in scoring defense a year ago, only 5 rushing touchdowns, and they still have Emmett there. No, the Giants with Coughlin will make a difference. Eli Manning will have growing pains, but he's got Kurt Warner there just in case. Tough division, but I do like the Giants.
Exactly, it's a tough division. They're going to be in trouble now. You've got the improved Redskins. You've got the Cowboys going to be coming on strong. Dennis Green, what does he do? The guy makes the playoffs. I'm not saying they make the playoffs right away, but now you've got Fitzgerald thrown into the mix too. Bolden was a great receiver last year. Everyone slept on him. The Cardinals will be improved slowly but surely under Dennis Green.
Both these teams needed a wake-up call. The reprimand and punishment was definitely worth it. Point for you, Mariotti. Giants will be better. And finally, it's been a dark year in Oriole country. They get hit, but the Baltimore pitching stinks, which is why the season's moment of glory came in last night's home run derby. Filling in for injured Jason Giambi, shortstop Miguel Tejada won the derby by going deep 15 times in one round and defeating local hero Lance Berkman in the final. Guys, was Tejada's feat the greatest in home run derby history? For the game, Adonde, go.
No, the greatest feat in home run history is back in the day, the original home run derby, the old black and white TV shows taped out here at the other Wrigley Field, Jay. Sorry, it's not the only one. It's in Chicago. The old home run derby, those are the classics. You had all the great sluggers of their day, including Henry Aaron,
I'm sorry, this thing today is a fraud. I can't take it seriously. If I had a power saw, I would slice up in the baseball. You'd see rubber bands and Super Bowls jumping out of it. I'm sorry, baseball needed home runs 6 years ago. Now the game is good. You don't need to sell the game with ridiculous home run hitting contests.
You said it was must-see TV. Point for Adonde right there. He is the winner. 15 seconds are yours. Go.
Do you really think you're going to get through a whole show and not hear a word about the Los Angeles Lakers? Of course not. Jerry Buss came out over the weekend and said that Kobe Bryant had nothing to do with the decision for Phil Jackson to leave and Shaquille O'Neal to be traded. Yeah, right. Let me tell you one thing. If Kobe Bryant had wanted them to be here, you don't think they'd still be in L.A. right now?
That's going to do it, folks. We're in a 23.5-hour break. We'll see you tomorrow around the Horn.
I got you, Larry. I never said that.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, the All-Star game is tonight. Are you having a big party?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. No, it'll just be me, my dog Maggie, and my inflatable Bud Selig doll. You want to come?
You looking for a voyeur? Is that it? What are you doing? Inflatable Bud doll? You like Bud that much?
Great looking doll.
That looks like Bud.
Wait till you put a wig on it, you'll see. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, we finally take a hammer to the Jeopardy guy. He's going down, and he's going down hot.
Good.
We begin today with baseball. Last night at the Home Run Derby, the 14 living baseball players with 500 or more home runs gathered in Houston. One of the most famous of them, Mark McGwire, spoke to Carl Ravitch, who asked McGwire for his thoughts on the subject of steroids and home run hitting.
How about the way Barry gets treated? All this talk about steroids and Balco and things like that.
It's ridiculous. Just, people are good. People are talented. People, the guys right now that are playing, they're so good. Why doesn't anybody talk about that? They don't want to realize that people are that good. So
that stuff doesn't help you hit home runs.
It has nothing to do with you hitting home runs. Hand-eye coordination and God-given talent.
All right, Wilbon, should we lay off guys like McGwire, Sosa, and Bonds and just celebrate them?
No, we're not PR agents. We're not here to celebrate. I mean, that's not why we're in the media. We're sports writers, and we do a talk show. We're not here to just celebrate home run hitting. You can do both. You can celebrate the home run hitting, but some hard questions have to be asked. But Mark McGwire, I don't know if he realizes not. He's a smart guy. I'm going to presume he realizes. The United States Anti-Doping Agency has said, we're looking into this. The United States government has said, no, we're cracking down this. The president of the United States has said, I want to look into this. So no, baseball players don't just then get to say, oh, just applaud us and tip your hat, nothing more. Well, it doesn't work that way.
The fact of the matter is that these guys are applauded everywhere they go. Bonds and McGuire and Sosa and everybody else. The interesting conundrum here is this. Most people believe that steroids may taint the individual records, but yet they love watching these guys hit the home runs. They don't want the home runs to stop. They want them to hit them further.
That's right. And as you know, Tony, I think that most fans don't care in the case of baseball. And I agree with McGuire's central point, which is hand-eye coordination is much more important than just raw strength in the act of hitting a baseball.
That's absolutely true. But if two people are exactly the same with hand-eye, and one is taking a performance-enhancing drugs, and he can hit it further, it helps get more home runs.
How much further? 1%, 5%, 25%?
We don't know that yet.
We don't know.
We don't.
We don't. Lakers owner Jerry Buss, moving to basketball, still vacationing in Italy, told reporters in a conference call back to the United States he is enjoying his Chianti, his rigatoni, some tagliatelle. And that Kobe Bryant had nothing to do with the trading of Shaq to Miami. That he, Buss, dumped Phil Jackson and Shaq, quote, totally independent of Kobe, close quote. Tony, I'd sooner believe you're going to walk in here with a head full of hair tomorrow than believe Kobe had nothing to do with this. But what do you believe?
Here is my head of hair for tomorrow. Here it is right here. Tagliatelle. Isn't he the commissioner of the NFL? You don't look as Italian as I now know that you are. Did Kobe have something to do with it? It would be a foolish owner who did not try to anticipate the needs of a player. He may not have consulted directly with Kobe Bryant, but he had to know because he reads all the stuff.
And he does have a relationship with Kobe. He
had to know that Kobe was less than thrilled with Phil Jackson and the relationship with Shaq wasn't all that good. But I think he's in a position where he can deny that he went to Kobe and said, what do you want, what do you need? And you know what?
I doubt he had to do that. Why would he have to do that?
If he did that, if he said, what do you want and what do you need, and he was the guy he wanted to re-sign, because the other guy, Shaq's still under contract technically, I wouldn't blame him for doing that.
I'm not going to say I blame him. No. I just don't want to hear I did this totally independent. He had to know that Kobe didn't want to be with Phil and Kobe didn't want to be with Shaq.
He may have taken the action independent of what Kobe said, but did it to keep Kobe around. You could hold both positions. They're not mutually exclusive. Wilbon, there is smoke coming out of Carlos Boozer's ears. When last we talked about Boozer, we castigated him for appearing to turn his back on a commitment to the Cavaliers and signing instead with the Utah Jazz for beaucoup money. Now with the news that Boozer's agent has resigned, the Cavs are trying to get back in the game with a one-year offer for $5 million, followed immediately by restricted free agency. But Boozer wants no part of Cleveland, saying in the plain dealer of the Cavs, quote, they tried to depict me as a kind of guy that bamboozled people, unquote. Wilbon, where is this going to end?
Well, it's going to end with Carlos Boozer getting a lot of money from somebody, whether he signs the one-year deal with Cleveland because he's worried about his own public relations. And what I said, we talked about this twice on this show.
I suggested he was a snake for turning his back on a deal that he had agreed to verbally.
I'm glad you admitted to that, because what I said repeatedly was, I don't know Carlos Boozer's side, and I would like to get his side. I am not going to just go with the official management position, and I'm surprised you are.
Why don't we hold a big sign?
I'm surprised that you are. That's the Cleveland Cavaliers side of the story. We haven't heard Boozer's, and Boozer might be well served to get his side of the story out there. But it's going to end with him taking a lot of money, whether he's in Utah or Cleveland.
Well, this is what I'm going to get to. It sounds like he believes the water is poison now in Cleveland and will not go back. I think it won't hurt him monetarily to go Utah. I think his reputation will be damaged. I think he's acknowledging this. Clearly, they're trying to get rid of the agent because they don't want second-round draft choices to never be able to move again.
Somebody got rid of the agent. I'm going to mention his name. He's fair game. Rob Pelinka, a guy I know a little bit. And guess who he's the agent of also?
Let me take a guess.
In addition.
Kobe Bryant, number 8.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. You got it.
You know what huelga means in Spanish? You know, strike. Because you're an anti-establishment guy. You're never going to side with management.
Are you just showing off?
You're the man.
Are you showing off for a future Jeopardy edition?
Well, you know, I'd like to take that guy.
Not surprisingly, the MLS has put 15-year-old Freddie Adu on its all-star team. I say not surprisingly because the MLS needs Adu to bolster the league. The one signature player the league has is Freddie Adu. So, Tony, how is it the MLS keeps telling people through its actions that Adu is so incredibly important, while at the same time the coach of DC United, his MLS team, takes forever to get him on the field?
Okay, it's preposterous this kid is an all-star. because his coach only started him in 6 of 16 games, and in many games kept him on the bench for 2/3 to 3/4 of the game. The kid should not be an all-star. He doesn't deserve to be. If he deserves to be an all-star right now, a Donald Foyle deserves to be an all-star. But who do I blame?
The coach.
Absolutely.
Not Freddie Adu,
No.
the coach.
He signed for more money than any other person in the league.
Yeah.
The league is saying now we want to get him out front and center in front of the whole country. So tell the coach of DC United, which I believe still has a losing record, tell him to play the kid.
Well, the league, what is so sick about this, as all the soccer heads, and we'll get millions of emails from the soccer files.
Millions would be great.
Who
It
will
means
say,
people are
you
watching.
guys don't understand soccer. Here's what we understand, though. We understand the difference between what the league thinks it needs from Freddie Adu and what DC United thinks it can get at this point
Don't
from Freddie
sign a
Adu.
kid to the most expensive contract in league history and let him rot on the pine.
That's right.
We at Pardon the Interruption have been sick of the Jeopardy guy for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
Last night he gave all of America reason to hate him, knowing that he needed to bet $17,601 to set the single-day earnings record. The Jeopardy guy chose to bet $17,600 instead, just enough to tie the record, which he already shared with another dope. Wilbon, this had nothing to do with winning the game. He was miles ahead of the other contestant. So how soft is this guy?
Wait a minute. Look, I'm tired of the guy, but just last week, a few days ago,
Needs a beat down.
we did a toss-up
Soft.
or winner or loser
hateable.
on this
Let
guy,
me just say this to
and
you.
you said he was a winner.
He is a winner.
And now you got him being a
turned on him.
loser.
He is now more hateable than Levitard. I mean, even Alex Trebek said to him, couldn't you spring for another buck to set the record
Well, so
yourself?
what do you think his motivation is in not going for the extra buck? To string out drama? Does he think this is
How
a
could I
dramatic
look
thing?
at his motivation when you're waiting for Carlos Boozer to give you his motivation?
No, I
Far
want to
be
give you
it
his
from me to
side.
speculate such
Oh,
things.
yeah, you've never done that,
Speculate.
have you? Speculate.
We're taking a break. When we come back, Derek Jeter tells us how his face is healing, and later we will play toss-up. Which Van Gundy has the better team heading into next season?
How about a Van Gundy, all Van Gundy NBA Finals?
By the way, we do.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by Red Stripe. It's beer. Hooray, beer. And in part by New Gillette Complete Skincare. It's time to face skincare like a man.
At the break, the Yankees have the best record in the big leagues, and we'd like to welcome in one of the primary reasons, Derek Jeter. Derek, the other day we played a toss-up game. We watched your best two plays, the play on Jeremy Giambi at home and the play the other day catching the ball and diving into the stands. In your opinion, which is the best of the two plays?
Well, falling in the stands really wasn't that tough of a play. I mean, afterwards it was kind of tough, but, you know, it was really the momentum carried me in. I fell in the stands previously in the playoffs against Oakland, and I fell in the first part, which was all cement, so I tried to jump over that one, but the chair didn't feel too good either.
How's your face now, by the way? Are you healing up?
Yeah, it's doing all right. It's doing all right. I was fortunate not to break anything.
Did you, I mean, we look at those two plays all the time now. Does one being in the postseason totally rule out the one where you went to the stands recently?
I would say so. I think the postseason, obviously, it means more. And, you know, that was more of the one against Boston was just going out, catching the ball, and then afterwards it was a little tough. But I'd have to say that the play in Oakland was probably a little bit better.
You got off to such a slow start. You got booed earlier in the season. I thought that was ridiculous, but you never let on that you really objected. I mean, did it upset you at all? And how do you feel about it now, looking back on it, now that you're up near 280, Derek?
Well, not really. I mean, the fans were cheering me when I was going to the plate. They were just booing the effects of my bats afterwards, and you really can't expect them to cheer for that because I was scuffling there early on. But fans in New York have been great. They've basically seen me grow up since I've been 20 years old, so we have the best fans in the world.
What did you do to get out of that? Some guys press and press and press. How did you pull yourself out and do it so quickly?
Well, I just kept swinging. I mean, that's the bottom line. You got to keep things in perspective. It's a long season, and you know, that's the approach I took. I try to forget about what I'd done previously and just take every at bat like it's a new one. And you know, I've been fortunate. The ball started, you know, finding some holes, and I've been swinging the bat pretty well as of late.
Let's talk about that. Wilbon is sucking up to you now, but the fact is that every time we talk about what you're going to bat at the end of the year, I now believe you're going to bat over 300. Wilbon continues to doubt you. At the end of the season, Derek, will you be over 300 or under 300?
I'd like to think I'd be over it. I mean, you need another couple of hot streaks. We got a long way to go. I got another probably 350 at that, so anything's possible. I'm always an optimist, and I feel as though I can be over 300.
When Alex Rodriguez, your teammate, now got to New York, he made that transition to third base, Derek. How has that gone? I mean, you look over there, obviously, you feel what it's like, you know what it's like to play shortstop. How hard do you think this transition has been for him to make?
You know, actually, I don't think it's been that difficult. Everyone was saying how many games will it take for him to get adjusted to third base, but he's been playing over there like he's been there his entire career, and he hasn't had any problems. So he's made the transition probably as well as anyone can.
Do you think that in his heart of hearts, he wants to play shortstop?
I don't think so. That's not what he's told me. You know, every message he's relayed to me is that he's looking forward to playing third base and trying to be the best third baseman he can be, and he's done an outstanding job.
See, now, before the season started, a lot of us in the media wondered how you two would get along. Obviously, you have gotten along very well. But tell us the truth. Were you concerned as well as how you would get along with Alex Rodriguez?
Well, not at all. I mean, we're here to win. That's the bottom line. And as long as you're on the same page and when it comes to that, we're not going to have any problems. I think the worst thing that could happen for the media is for us to get along. I think it's a better story if we were fighting and arguing back and forth, and you guys would have a better show. But me and Alex have no problem.
Well, it would be a little bit like Shaq and Kobe right now, and everybody into that. And I know that you guys pay attention a lot to basketball. But Derek, what do you guys do? I mean, when you have people pulling at you like that and thinking, okay, maybe it is a better story if you don't get along, what do you and Alex do to keep a pretty strong relationship in what appears to be one to us?
Oh, well, we've known each other for a very long time, so there's a lot of history there, and, you know, people run with some stories, and they try to make it seem like we're not getting along or this and that, but, you know, we've had a good relationship for many years now, and I foresee us having a long relationship.
Okay, one more question. Over the weekend, Wilbon and his wife went to watch you and Alex play in Yankee Stadium. Wilbon's wife took 1,000 pictures of both of you.
None of me.
Because nobody wants to look at Wilbon. So the question is, what is it like to be such a hot-looking guy, since obviously we don't know?
I mean, I don't look at it that way, especially after falling into the stands. So, you know, I just go out. Like I said, I've grown up in New York. We have a lot of fans, and, you know, I just appreciate it.
Thank you, Derek, and good luck tonight at the game.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Derek Jeter, boys and girls, we're taking a break. When we come back, we will debate Tiger's chances at the British Open and Mike Ditka's career prospects in both coaching and politics.
You want Mike Ditka to run, don't you?
No, I want Cheryl to admit that she took pictures of hot guys because you're a loser.
And you are?
A winner. Oh. We've played toss-up 175 times, and 175 times I have won. What keeps you going, Mike?
Not your lion, that's what
Let's get the first one from the producer over the loudspeaker.
Toss-up, who will end up with more titles, Shaq or Kobe?
I'm going with Kobe.
What a stunner!
Okay, I'm going with Kobe, but simply because he is 7 years younger than Shaquille O'Neal. So he has more time to assemble people around him, and we'll see. We'll see if he's Michael Jordan and he can win without a great center. Most guys need a great center.
They do.
We'll see if he can.
They do. I got them both ending up with the same number of titles they have now. 3. No more for either one. No more for either guy. I think they can get to the finals. I think they will find out.
I think Shaq can get to the finals at Miami.
I don't think they can beat the West. To the finals. But you're right, Tony. Kobe, look, Kobe, if he wants to, has 10, 11, 12 more seasons in which to pursue this. He is a great, great player, and maybe he gets has a GM who can assemble.
So that's why I would have Kobe.
3-3, that's it. No more titles.
You're wrong. What's next?
Toss up, which Van Gundy looks to have the better team, Stan or Jeff?
I'm glad that we have mentioned Shaquille O'Neal, because I will take Stan Van Gundy at the moment. The Eastern Conference is easier to navigate than the Western Conference.
This is just you hating on Yao Ming again.
No, it's me loving Shaq. Come on, it's me loving Shaq.
All right.
I'm taking your position because you love Shaq so much. I think that is a better draw than they have over in Houston. By the way, I'm not as sold on Tracy McGrady as you are. He is a great player, but his team lost more games than any other team in the NBA. I'm going to ask you this. Do you think Kobe or Michael Jordan would have ever been on a team that had the most losses?
No, but you got Yao, T-Mac, Jimmy Jackson. Here's the killer.
Go ahead.
If Derek Fisher, a free agent, signs with Houston and becomes the point guard for Jeff Van Gundy, he's a free agent. Seattle or Houston, where would you go if you're D-Fish? You're scared of me. You're scared of me and toss-up.
Ifs are stupid. What's next?
Toss-up more likely to win the British Open, Tiger or Phil?
I'm going with Phil just on the basis of how they have performed at majors this year. Tiger has finished up the track, and Phil has an and a duh.
Yeah, he does.
So he is walking into Troon in better shape in the majors than Tiger, whose game is in disarray.
Tiger's walking into Troon with a new driver. Okay?
Well, the old one he can't keep on the course.
I don't mean driving Miss Daisy. I mean a new driver. He's made up with his boy, his former boy Butch. They had a little conversation.
And you knew because you were there?
Karma's right.
Yeah.
I think Tiger is going to win at the British Open. How about that?
Here's the problem for both of them.
What?
High wind, and they both hit a high ball.
They do. But
so that's the problem.
Tiger's won it before.
Next.
Still won it?
Next. Next. He hasn't won it at Troon.
Toss-up, better Wilbon weekend destination, Fenway Park or Yankee Stadium?
I think this has to be Yankee Stadium. Now, Fenway is a more interesting place architecturally, and the seats on the monster themselves are the greatest seats in all of sports.
Like it, Tony.
But Yankee Stadium is a shrine to winning and a shrine to baseball, and Fenway Park is a psychiatrist's couch and a shrine to losing and self-loathing.
I love Monument Park. I love it. I love both of these places. I love going to Yankee Stadium and seeing Derek Jeter. I did. Now, having said that, I like Fenway more. Reminded me of Wrigley Field. You can see Boston. You can't see anything in the stadium but Yankee Stadium. When you're in Fenway, you can sit on the monster.
How great is this that you paid money to see the Sox and the Yankees?
I did. Good money.
Last one, toss-up, brighter future for Ditka. Hood coaching or politics?
Okay, Ditka can't get a job as a head coach. That's over. So by elimination, he has a better shot in politics.
He has no shot in
Why not?
politics.
He could be the Republican Senate nominee in your home state of Illinois.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Did you see some of the Ditka interview?
What did he say?
What did he say? They asked about his platform. I'm going to give the people what they want.
Good. Well,
I mean, what? Come
isn't
on.
that what Richard Daley did when you were
Ditka
growing up?
More than me. Richard Daley was a career politician. What are you saying? Don't ever compare the two of them.
You would have bet against Schwarzenegger and lost. You would have bet against Jesse Ventura.
No, I wouldn't have. I don't live in California.
Don't bet against
But I
Ditka.
have lived in Illinois.
Don't bet against Dick.
Not going to happen.
He could be an alderman
Not
for
going to happen.
20
Then
more
he can
years.
start there
That's
and work
it.
his way up.
I win. 176 and counting. Time for a break, but don't go anywhere because we still got to talk about Rush Limbaugh, Lance Armstrong, and an update on the life of Wilbon's favorite fan, Steve Bartman.
Where is he?
Boy.
Where is he? People have seen
on
him.
the screen.
Do we know where he is? Not there.
He's in your house.
He ain't in my house.
His shoes are under the bed.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by Red Stripe. It's beer. Hooray, beer. And in part by Subway. It's what to eat when you want to eat fresh. Subway. Eat fresh. And the makers of Lotramin Ultra, the latest cure for athlete's foot.
Happy time, people. Happy 41st birthday to Spud Webb. This must be a really slow day for birthdays. Spud Webb out of North Carolina State. Finest moment in a 12-year NBA career, the 1986 NBA dunk contest when Webb at 5'7" beat your boy Dominique Wilkins for the title.
That's very nice, but I also know a certain cranky old man whose 83rd birthday is today. Happy birthday. What do you want for your birthday, TK?
Want to go to sleep. Happy anniversary, Rush Limbaugh. On this day last year, you were hired by ESPN to join the cast of NFL Countdown. How's that working out for you, Rush? Rush made it to October when a race-baiting commentary about Donovan McNabb prompted Limbaugh's resignation. He stayed on radio the whole time. He's a god on radio.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you thought that was a great hire when it was made.
Yes, I did.
Putting Rush on that, set, don't you?
Happy trails, Jimmy Williams. You may be out of a job tomorrow. Reports out of Houston say the team will either commit to you or cut you loose before the second half of the season. The Astros are in 5th place in the National League Central, 10.5 games behind the Cardinals. Wilbon, is he in or out?
It doesn't matter. They're not catching the Cardinals whether Jimmy Williams is managing the team or somebody else is. Doesn't matter.
Stat Boy, what did we mess up?
Well, we should call toss-up, kiss-up today after the way you guys took sides on Kobe and Shaq. And Tone, when did you start working for ESPN Deportes? What is this Huelva stuff?
Huelga means strike. It's what the great pitchers did. Huelga.
No, Huelga.
I should have held up a sign like Sally Field said, Union. We're running out of show. We go to the big finish.
Let's do it.
Steve Bartman is reportedly enrolled in law school. Your thoughts?
That ain't the kind of defense, self-defense he's going to need. The Pistons will sign both Rasheed and Antonio McDyess. Do you smell repeat?
McDyess is iffy, but Rasheed helped bring them a championship. Shaq's wife says Kobe is selfish and is not on her favorite people list. Are you surprised?
Why in the world would I be surprised? Think she heard that somewhere around the house? Lance Armstrong finished in the main pack, still in 6th place. When does he make his move?
Well, I don't know exactly when, but he better make it in France. He better not wait till they go to Italy or Germany. The All-Star game is tonight. Who you got?
Who's playing?
National and American.
National League, that's who I got.
Of course, Cubs fan. We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow. Sports Center is next. The real reason the Lakers picked Kobe over Shaq.
PTI.
Well done.